Hi there, it's Joe again. I'm here with another product review. Today I'm taking a look at my Specialized Epic Comp 29er. A couple years ago when I started riding, I bought a hardtail off from Craigslist and learned the hard way a couple different things. One, I'm a bigger guy, I'm 6'3", about 220 pounds on a good day. And with the amount of riding that I do and the aggressive riding that I do, I live in Michigan. We don't have a lot of crazy downhill stuff, but still a lot of roots and rocks and good trails. I, within about 18 months, went through 3 different rear wheels and cracked the frame. And for those of you that are in the market for a bike or have owned new bikes, good bikes, you know that typically frame manufacturers, bike manufacturers, they warranty the frame for the original owner. So I learned the hard way and had to go out and buy a brand new bike and started taking a look around at some options, figuring out what might help me find a bike that can hold my weight and the style of riding that I do, and was geared over towards the full suspension. Now the knock on the full suspension has historically been that it's a heavier bike. This bike happens to be about the same weight as my other hardtail was. The hardtail that I had was a decent bike, but it was not one of the high-end bikes, and so it weighed in about 26. This weighs in about 26 pounds. As you go up the scale in price on this, obviously that weight comes down. But one thing that I've noticed with this immediately, so the hardtail that I had was approximately 26 pounds as well, but this just seemed, as soon as I got on it, to be a much faster bike. And so I started paying attention to where I was actually thinking that I was gaining some speed, and it kind of came in a few different areas. First, the first thing I figured out was that on climbs, where a lot of my friends were picking lines that avoided roots and rocks and having to kind of wind up a hill, I was able to pick a line that I wanted to ride in a sense, a straight line, and go straight up the hill, because the full suspension took and absorbed those roots and rocks, which helped me as I was climbing. I didn't have to get out of the seat as much. And number 2, it kept that rear wheel on the ground, and so it kept contact with the ground and left me putting more power, allowed me to put more power into the wheel. The second thing that I found, kind of the same concept, but on downhills, much more flexible with the lines that I was able to pick. Not to say that I don't still try and avoid some of the larger rocks and roots, but it allows me to pick good lines and not have to worry about losing control because the bike flies up after every rock and bump. Finally, here's where I think if you're riding for a long period of time, or if you're racing, because you're not getting up out of the seat so much, it allows you to retain energy, and you're not wasting energy getting up out of the saddle, getting back in the saddle, getting up out of the saddle, having your upper body blown all out because you're trying to get around roots and rocks. And so from an endurance standpoint, it really allows you to keep energy. So those are the couple things that I really found to be most beneficial about the bike. So the Epic Comp in particular comes with a 2x10 drivetrain, which the bike that I had previously had a 3x9. I've found for the most part that there's not any restrictions with a 2x10. If I'm on the road, I'll sometimes spin out. I have a fairly low cadence though, and so that's a little bit more of an issue with my cadence than it is with gearing on the bike. The rear shock has the Brain technology in it, which allows you to eliminate some of the pedal bob when you're pedaling. The front shock on this particular model does not have the Brain technology. The models above this all do have that Brain technology, again allowing for shock only when something is in your way and you're trying to roll over it, not losing energy when you're pedaling. This came with an X9 rear derailleur, X7 front derailleur, X7 front shifters, but I switched those out for X9. This is a 2012 that I bought in the beginning of 2012, so I've been riding this for the last 18 months and just absolutely loved it. The other thing that I was kind of proven right on was that this is the original wheel that I bought with the bike, which may not seem unusual or random, but again, when I was breaking, three wheels with a hardtail, this is really proven as a larger rider, as a bigger, taller rider, that it is durable and it's the right setup for me. So if you're looking at new bikes, even if you're not as big as I am, I highly recommend taking a look at a full suspension bike and taking a look at the Specialized Epic in particular. Get it out on a trail and ride it for a while and really feel the difference in its capabilities. So again, it's Joe, and I look forward to hearing your responses.